Going back a few years, many of you may remember this. There was a VA scandal across the country, and it had to do with VA leadership and the falsification of documents and wait times for veterans to get care. And it started, at least it was released first, found out first here in the Phoenix VA. I reached out to members of Congress then, and Senator McCain, the late Senator McCain's office, reached out immediately and allowed me to work with them throughout that process where massive changes were made in leadership at the VA. So many of us have been looking at the improvements there. And I want to say at the outset that every veteran I've ever talked to said they get fantastic care and they love the people in the VA once they're in. But the difficulty getting in has always been the issue. There has been an incident where a patient died literally on the doorsteps of the VA, and many people are asking questions, including Arizona Congressman Ruben Gallego, and he joins us now. Congressman, I appreciate you coming on to talk about this issue.
Yeah, good morning.
I want to start off with, can you give us details of what your office has found out about this, what you know about this, and maybe what you're trying to get done about it?
Well, first of all, this is just horrific. You described it, perfectly. This veteran who came in just for urology checkup left to go home, and basically steps from the VA hospital, collapses. And then what proceeds was just, imagine the family that was with him. This man was not traveling alone. The hospital staff didn't follow procedure. They called 911. The 911 operator didn't call the hospital in time. This poor veteran did not get the life-saving procedures until 11 minutes in. There was no defibrillator nearby. And to top that all off, there was then a cover-up. We did not know, and you described perfectly how for many years some of the reforms that John McCain and many other elected officials put in, we did not know about the problems until a whistleblower came out and finally told the OIG, Office Inspector General, and we got a report just last week. So right now, in a bipartisan manner, we're asking, how did this happen? Why did this happen? What are you going to do in the future? And who should be held accountable, both obviously for what happened that day, but also for this, this cover-up that should have been reported immediately.
It's interesting because of all the issues that go on in our government where there are so many things where there's partisan takes on issues. And this is such a bipartisan, I would even go as far as to say nonpartisan issue, that Americans en masse believe and expect that the veterans that serve this country will get the care that they need and deserve at the VA. So this should be an easy walkover for you and for others that are so concerned about veterans to get this fixed. Are you running into red tape? You said that there had to be an investigation and a whistleblower. Have they dropped the walls down, and are they being cooperative now?
They are, they're starting. Like the OIG came up with this report, and then myself, I wrote a letter trying to get more answers out of it, and then joined with Republicans and Democrats a letter to the VA asking for a full report, accountability and next steps. So I feel like we're moving in the right direction. For me, this is personal. I used to use that VA for services. I've been there, both as an elected official, but as a veteran. And it is just horrific to think that, some veteran died because of just lack of oversight, lack of leadership. And no veteran, no matter who they are, no matter what party they are, deserves that.
Congressman Ruben Gallego is joining us to talk about an issue here at the VA again. So the other part of this has to do with staffing. That always seems to be the issue for veterans, saying that they have a difficult time getting in, that with the number of veterans we have in Arizona, they're not well staffed enough at the VA for the veterans to be able to get in to get the care they need. Yeah. Is that still a big issue?
It's still a big issue. And when I first moved here after I was done with my time in Iraq, I had that experience too. As well as just a lot of other young veterans that came back because a lot of us were needing services right away, especially for PTSD. It has improved. And again, I want to encourage every veteran to use the VA. It is important to use the VA. Do not be afraid of running away from the VA. These employees, 99% of them are great employees. They just want to serve their country and take care of veterans. Do not avoid service at the VA because it will eventually catch up to you. That's what happened to me. For many years, I avoided service at the VA and didn't deal with my PTSD. So don't do that. It can be hard. And this is when you reach out to your congressman, Democrat or Republican, and you tell them, hey, I'm having problems. Help me get in there. And that's what we're supposed to do. But the VA has improved. It's going to have to keep on improving. And I think everybody in this country wants that to happen.
What ended up happening at the end of the last scandal that happened was the production of what was at the time called the choice card. And it was Senator McCain and, of all people, Bernie Sanders, talk about opposite sides of the spectrum, worked on this. Well, really, they both worked on this, realizing giving veterans an opportunity to go outside the system. Is there a plan in place? Can we expand veterans being able to go outside of the VA for some of those things that aren't PTSD or traumatic brain injuries? And so it makes it easier for them to get care. Is there a plan out there to possibly make that happen?
I mean, the plan that was instituted by by that bill, it's actually pretty good. What we need to do is make sure that the providers, get paid faster, because sometimes they feel like, that they take it on the chin because the VA takes forever. And again, we have to go back and reinforce the VA, hire more doctors, hire more practitioners, pay them better, make them more competitive, add more beds, add more nurses, all these things that are very difficult in Arizona because we are growing so fast. And, as we grow every day with just people, coming to move here, a lot of those people are veterans. Thank God. We want as many veterans to move to Arizona. We are a very pro-veteran friendly state. But it also requires us to actually make sure that the proper investments are taking place here in Tucson and Prescott and some of our other sites.
Congressman, I always appreciate the conversation. I hope you'll be able to come back during this election season and talk on some more issues, but I know we wanted to focus on just this one. And I appreciate you reaching out and start to get answers for this, and I hope you'll come back soon.
Will do. Have a good one.
All right, thanks. That is Congressman Ruben Gallego from Arizona's 3rd District, Senate candidate, talking specifically about veterans issues. This is one of those issues where it is nonpartisan. Bipartisan is a different word. This is a nonpartisan issue. Veterans in this country, we expect as Americans on both sides of the political aisle, no matter where you stand on advocacy for war, foreign wars, we all agree that the men and women that serve this country are the best and the brightest. When they serve and they have medical needs, those needs should be met. And I would go even further, in my personal opinion, is this. A veteran should have a golden ticket. This is my opinion, in my perfect world. And that veteran should be able to walk into any healthcare facility and need whatever the care that's needed and get that care. And that provider knows that with that ticket, that veteran's going to get the care they need, and that provider is going to get paid for that care. It should be that simple for every veteran. But we're going to stay on this, and we'll be giving you updates as we get more information.
Thanks for watching The Mike Broomhead Show. Tap to watch the first season of Amazing Arizonans, a KTAR News podcast. You can also click the button in the middle to subscribe.